Hi, my name is George Hewlett. I just came into Torrance in the B-25 Mitchell bomber. North American B-25 Mitchell was designed as a medium bomber in World War II, and they made almost 10,000 during the war. This airplane was made late in the war, did not see service, but is painted to depict one that served in the South Pacific during World War II. It's owned and operated by Mike Pupich in Van Nuys, California, and we're happy to be here at Torrance. Hope everyone has a good time today. Okay, we're up in the cockpit of the B-25. I'd like to introduce my co-pilot. Tony Ost is my co-pilot. He's been flying the airplane almost as long as I have. It's a two-pilot airplane. It requires the two pilots, pilot and co-pilot. And Tony takes care of the navigation and communication and the landing gear, and I just kind of drive and he does all the work. Well, it's a typical airplane, really, as far as flight instruments go. You have your directional gyro and your artificial horizon, radio navigation, and then all the rest is engine instruments. These are large, complex engines, radial engines with 1,700 horsepower each. So monitoring the engines is half the work of flying these airplanes. Because it was a strafing bomber, it would go in low and attack targets on the ground. So we have a gun sight here. We also have a torpedo sight. It was used for anti-shipping, so occasionally we'd carry torpedoes on these airplanes and use this site for torpedo bombing.
My name's Chad Sisk, and I'm the crew chief on Heavenly Body, which is a World War II B-25 Mitchell, made by North American. And we're in the center section of the airplane, which is called the waist gunner area and the radio operator station. These two radios both work in this airplane. There's not a B-25 in existence that has working original radio equipment in the airplane. We're the only one out of that series. And then underneath here is the amplitude, trailing antenna. Up in here is where the reel is to count how many feet the trailing antenna is pulling out. And if you look down a little bit further next to the yellow suit there, that is a heated suit assembly where you plug your heated suit into to keep warm at altitude. And then on down further is the waist guns. And then as you go down further, you can see the life raft bag sitting there in the corner, the yellow one, which is all there. Then you got flame floats, drift meters, and parachute flares way in the back. And then way in the back there where you see all that control stuff sitting back there, that's the tail turret. And that tail turret is fully operational again. Everything works in it except for the guns. They do not fire. But it is one of 5 B-25s in the world that has it. There's like 140 B-25s left and 25 that fly, and we're 1 out of 5 that have it. Right there, what you're looking at is rails that go up on the side of the ship, but that's the ammunition belts that carry the ammunition to the guns. The black handles you see with the two little flippers that are sticking out of the side, those flippers are called dead man switches. You had to depress those in order to make the turret work. If you didn't, then it would stop. The reasoning behind that was if the guy got shot or hurt and couldn't operate it and his hands fell off the gun turret, it would stop working so they could get him out of the spot and get him back here. Everything back there is original. That's all 1/2-inch, 1/4-inch plate steel to protect the tail turret. And the little bicycle seat he sits on, the seat belt. We spent a lot of time trying to research this airplane out to get it back to where it's at. And then coming up down the other side, you'll see a set of oxygen bottles sitting on the ground. Those are called portables. They would hook them up and they would carry them around in the ship when they moved around if they were up at altitude. Underneath that seat, out that window, is called the strike camera. And it's a K-24 strike camera made by Kodak. And this is what took pictures of the bombing run. And every single B-25 ever made had that camera in place. So they got a lot of photographs of bombing runs. And this radio right over our head here is called an IFF radio, Identification Friend or Foe. It transmit out a signal for the day, and if you did not have it, they were taught to shoot down the airplanes that didn't transmit it. This is the bombardier station. This is where the bombardier sat and dropped the bombs out of the bomb bay. What you're looking at is the famous Norton bomb site of World War II, which was the best kept secret. The bombardier station's fully restored back to what it looked like during World War II. What you see here are 100-pounders and a 1,000-pounder. This aircraft in here has a fully operational bomb bay which can drop bombs in the bomb bay again from the bombardier's nose. This project in here took about 4 years to complete. Martin top turret E250 rebuilt by us about 6 years ago. Operational as far as movement. That would be the upper cover of the airplane when they were in combat. This is the waist position, and only one man operated. He was also the radio operator, so he operated both guns at the same time. Needless to say, he was a very busy man. This is the tail position of Heavenly Body, and the one of 5 B-25Js that have an operational tail turret. The most belief of airplanes that fought during World War II was that if they came on the nose, that was the worst spot to get shot. But reality was the tail position was the worst spot, because when they came in to shoot down the airplanes, they sprayed the whole tail, trying to knock the tail position out. When they came forward, they went for the engines, which kept the people up front a little bit more protected.